It's nothing about the philosophy of Bitcoin that people like to think that I've changed my mind on. It's nothing about what I think the future of Bitcoin is, which I haven't changed my mind on. I wrote the first macro strategy piece on Bitcoin, I think, ever published back in 2012, 13, and I've maintained that view. But my job as an investor is not to have my philosophy rule my investments. Some people can, and that's okay. I have no issue with it. But what I started to do was understand, okay, what drives the price of Bitcoin and what drives the price of digital assets overall? And that's when I started digging into Metcalfe's law and network adoption models. And I realized, okay, now I've got a pricing framework for this stuff. So then I started doing the work and I saw that the ETH network was growing faster.
Earlier in the year, during a Twitter battle with Bitcoin strategist Greg Foss, Real Vision CEO and macro guru Raoul Pal revealed that he only owns one Bitcoin. The information came as a big surprise to many members of the Bitcoin community because of how passionately Pal speaks and tweets about the world's largest cryptocurrency. While responding to a tweet from Foss accusing him of misleading people to trade bonds, Pal revealed that he owns one Bitcoin because of the questionable attitude of Bitcoin maxis. Here is the tweet. And that is your issue. I don't share your philosophy, so you attack me. Really? This is why I hold only one Bitcoin. The community has lost sight of inclusion, and you, sir, are helping reduce the network effects by excluding people who don't share your view from the network. Before he dropped that bombshell, Pal had previously revealed that he owns more Ethereum than Bitcoin. Yet no one expected him to have only one Bitcoin. The Real Vision and global macro investor CEO made his first Bitcoin purchase in November 2013. He sold for a 10x profit 3 years later, shortly before he could have made over 20x. He started buying back in 2019 through 2020. In a recent Twitter space with Bitcoin Archive, Pal speaks extensively about why he decided to make the switch from Bitcoin to Ethereum. According to the macro guru, he didn't actually drop Bitcoin because of the community or because he stopped believing in the asset's qualities. He just found a greater asset. We will now take you to Raoul Pal's interview, and he has one more surprise for you. So watch, share, and like this video. Also, ensure you drop your comments and observations below and subscribe. Enjoy the video.
It's basically about volume, dollar volume transacted on, let's say, a monthly basis versus the number of active addresses. And ETH has been outperforming for a significant period of time in terms of the vibrancy of its network. And I looked at the chart of the cross rate of ETH versus Bitcoin. It looked like it was going to break out. So I started dipping my toes in. As soon as it broke, the ETH chart itself looked great. So I started thinking, well, if I want to get allocation, I believe in Bitcoin, I believe in blockchain, I believe that Bitcoin has a massive role in the future of the global monetary system as a global store of value over time. I think its technology is revolutionary, but ETH is another technology that's built on top of the same kind of ideas, and it was going to outperform. Simple as that. Nothing to do with philosophy. And and what happened obviously was more use cases were accruing to ETH. Now, can that change over time? Sure, I don't have a problem with it. So it's nothing to do with philosophy. It's to do with trying to maximize the returns in what is probably the greatest opportunity for investment and wealth generation we've ever been given. And I maintain that view. So my view maintains that I will adapt if I see opportunities for creating excess profit. So things like NFTs, they become interesting because they're actually call options on ETH. Because over time, if the ETH ecosystem does well, more money piles into NFTs. NFTs outperform ETH itself. And so therefore, you've got the basis of ETH going up and the basis of NFTs going up. Now, I also think ETH is flawed. And ETH is flawed because it is too slow, it's too expensive at times, etc. So that drives people, as I talked about before, same with commodity markets, to start looking at the opportunity set and saying, well, we can develop something different. So that something different ended up being things like Solana and Avalanche. Okay, great. So they're cheaper and faster, but they trade off decentralization. So everything is a trade-off versus Bitcoin's decentralization. And some people require the decentralization above all things, and others require the utility above all things. So what that did was drive different parts of the space as blockchain technology became almost ubiquitous for the future of technology. And so the opportunities for me now, I'm not a stock picker, I'm a macro guy. So I'll never have, a ton of, I don't trade really, I just buy this stuff and hold it. And occasionally I'll switch my allocation from one thing to the other. So recently I bought some I sold some of my ETH and some other tokens and bought more Solana. So that's my second biggest bet right now. And could that change over time? Could I be wrong? Sure. But I'm not a big trader of alts. I just bought a basket, equally weighted basket, because I said I think the whole space is going from a market cap of $1 trillion to 200 trillion or so. So if I just hold a basket of stuff like, Aave, Uniswap, just stuff that is, on a macro tactical allocation basis. I want a bit of DeFi, I want a bit of layer ones, want a bit of layer twos, blah, blah, blah. And let's see how it goes.
The overall cycle, I remember you were saying something about this. Absolutely. There's no reason to own Bitcoin because alts have a higher beta. And during the bear markets, you want to own stable coins.
Yeah.
How do you still abide by that? And how do you think that's held up so far in the bear market?
Well, I think that's been pretty much the right assumption, because if it's a bull market, then you want to own beta. The hard thing is, it's easy to make as a flippant comment. What beta do you want to own? That's the hard part, right? That's the stock picking part that I'm not particularly good at. Hence why a basket, and my current view is that ETH outperforms Bitcoin over a period of time. So I kind of stick with that because it's a deep ecosystem. So it's a macro bet as opposed to a micro bet. But some people are amazing at the micro bet. It's just not my game. But I observe stuff, and I'm very interested in learning about new technologies, new opportunities to see, is this a place you could allocate capital to or not?
Not only did Pal switch to Ethereum, but he is now stacking up on Solana. Does this show that he is not really about philosophy but the trade? Or does it show that Raoul Pal is a fickle investor? Let us know what you make of this in the comment section below. In his interview, Pal also talks about the current state of the markets, from bonds to oil, crypto, and tech stocks.
My view is I think bond yields topped last month or the month before. So I think that was thing number one I was looking for. Thing number two I was looking for was the oil market to stop going up, and it fell significantly. It's obviously having a rally now. Let's see whether that creates another new high or not. My guess is not, because demand is being destroyed. So therefore, we've got two big factors that have been weighing on technology and crypto out of the way. Crypto, we had the liquidation event. So normally when we have a liquidity withdrawal by the Fed, you get a liquidation event. We had a big one in crypto. So that feels like, okay, that monetary tightening has now washed through the crypto markets and is less prevalent. So could we get a further risk off? Yes. Are we going to break the lows? Not clear. Again, probably not, but it's possible. And again, I kind of give it 60-40 odds. And so why are we seeing this in crypto, and why are we seeing it in stuff like ARK, which bottomed 2 months ago? Because again, their job is to be forward-looking. Their job, because these are the most forward-looking of all parts of the financial markets, and they are doing their job, which is they are starting to say, hey, listen, maybe the Eurodollar market's right, and the Fed are going to change course, and liquidity conditions will ease somewhat, and therefore they can rally. They don't need a rate cutting cycle. They just need inflation to die down somewhat, and also for inflation to die down, forward-looking growth to be going up, not down. And again, they discount it early in advance, and for rates to stop rising. So I think that condition is fine to find a base. And then if rates start coming lower and financial conditions start easing, then these things will be off to the races.
We might not know how the declining macro environment will impact the crypto market in the short term, but we do know the top crypto asset is putting up a very good fight. Now that the shock from Tesla's dump is over, the market is again making a quick recovery, almost like a giant corporation didn't announce it sold almost $1 billion worth of Bitcoin. As of press time, the crypto asset is exchanging hands at $23,597, a 13% increase over the past week. After a week of bull market-style gains, Ethereum has also risen by over 32% and is now trading at $1,625. Other top cryptocurrencies are also seeing decent gains. Avalanche, Shiba Inu, Polkadot, Dogecoin, Solana, Cardano, XRP, and Binance have all gained over 2% in the past 24 hours. With the overall crypto market cap still sitting above $1 trillion, many crypto exchanges are also recording 100% in crypto trade volume. What do you think about the latest trend in the market? Does this mean the bottom is in and we can expect a switch to a crypto bull market soon regardless of the economic decline? Let us know what you think about this in Raoul Pal's interview in the comments section below. If you are yet to do so, please consider giving this video a thumbs up and subscribing to the channel. Everything helps with the algorithm. Thanks for watching.